Good morning. I don't want you to feel like you're a second-class citizen because your prayers may go unanswered. I've been talking a lot about prayer, a lot about answered prayer, and hindrances to those prayers in the last couple of weeks. But I want you to understand something. In Matthew chapter 26, it tells us about Jesus. I don't know of anybody closer to God than his own son. What did he pray? He said, "My soul is exceedingly sorrowful, even unto death. Stay here and watch with me." That's what he told his friends, Peter, James, and John. And then he goes off by himself and he prays his prayer. Sweats drops of blood over it. "Oh, my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will." Now think about that for just a minute. Jesus knew he had to go to the cross. His whole life he'd been saying he had to go to the cross. Must needs be that I go to the cross. But in his humanity, identifying with us, feeling what we feel, the thought of the separation from the Father, the thought of all of the penalty for sin coming upon himself, sins being received in his own person, the shame, the suffering, all that was about to take place came down upon him. And in that moment he said, "God, I know you can do anything. Is it possible? If it could be another way, would you do that for me?" God didn't give him another way. He sent him an angel to strengthen him, didn't he? He sent him an angel to give him the strength to do it. Paul 3 times prayed. Nobody in the world's done more to change the world than the Apostle Paul. The West is here because of Paul, no doubt about it. When Paul prayed 3 times for whatever this thorn in the flesh was, what did God say to him? "My grace is sufficient for thee." But then Paul tells us, God would not remove it, lest he be lifted up above measure. In other words, unless Paul in some way thought he himself was responsible for all the gifts that God had given him and all that he was going through. Isn't that an amazing thing? These 2 people that were probably the closest to God, if you wanted to go historically, of anybody, they didn't get some key prayers answered. And in fact, they suffered a whole lot in life. Read Paul's biography through Acts. That fella never got a break. He's been beaten, he's been stoned, chased out of town. It was like he never got a break. God, he's doing so much for you. Doesn't he deserve more? What about Jesus, God's own son? Doesn't he deserve to be treated better? The sufferings of this world are not to be compared with the glory that shall be revealed in us. Paul said that I might know him, the power of his resurrection, the fellowship of his sufferings. Jesus suffered. We're in Christ. We're going to suffer. It's inevitable that we're going to suffer. Some of that suffering may be an unanswered prayer. God will still use it to build you up and for his glory and for his honor. And it may break your heart, but in the midst of that, you don't even realize it. You're being drawn to him. You're finding strength in him. You may even want to stream tears down right now thinking, are you kidding me? That I would not get what I've prayed for my entire life? Could it be possible God has something even better than the answer to that prayer that we don't quite understand yet? Maybe God will show that to us. Maybe he won't. But I don't want you to ever feel like a second-class citizen. Could be because the prayer went unanswered. You're closer to God than many that do get answers. He can trust you, and he can allow you to go through disappointment in a way he never could somebody else. Be encouraged. God is with you. God bless you.